everyone, welcome to episode 24 of our weekly CRICKETher Vodcast. Today we're once again at Beckenham for the second round of the Rachael Heyhoe Flint Trophy, and today we're going to be watching the Stars v the Sunrisers. Now, the first round of matches was played on Saturday, and three of those games were actually fairly one-sided, I think it's fair to say. Diamonds beat the Sparks by 9 wickets, Lauren Winfield making 72 and Catherine Brunt taking 5 for 20. The Vipers beat the Sunrisers by 7 wickets, Danny Wyatt top scorer with 66. Western Storm beat the Stars here, that was the match we were watching, by 6 wickets, and Heather Knight was the kind of mainstay of the batting, finishing on 91 not out. There was a closer match up north, Lightning against Thunder. Thunder ended up winning by just 4 runs on DLS, and Sophie Eccleston finished with 60 not out. We're sensing a little bit of a theme here, Sid.
Yeah, I think largely we are, really, aren't we? We're seeing that the England players are dominating the first rounds of the Rachael Heyhoe Flint Trophy, as I guess we'd probably expect. I mean, we did have some good performances from some of the other players. We had a good bowling performance here from Georgia Hennessy, who looks rejuvenated. She took 4 wickets. Paige Schofield had a good day for the Vipers, but basically, you know, it was all about the England players, and none more so than here at Beckenham, where Heather Knight, you know, just completely dominated. And you know, it was a fantastic performance, really. That she came in right from the off, and she took a couple of balls, got the feel of the pitch. Like third or fourth ball was like smack, and you know, just smacked. Katie George was opening the bowling through the covers for 4, and then she just blocked out the next 2 deliveries because she was like, "No, I've got my 4 and over. That's all I need to do." And you know, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to finish this off. And you know, she did stay here and finish it off. And you know, when you're playing with Heather Knight on your team, it's almost like you're playing a video game on easy mode. You know, it really does make a huge difference, and you know, those players are dominating perhaps as we'd expect.
Okay, thanks for the video game analogy there. I wrote a piece on Saturday which kind of relates to that, which is something that I've been thinking about for a while. And I think that one of the issues with the regional competition, which obviously this year is the Rachael Heyhoe Flint Trophy but will be called something else next year, one of the issues is that I don't think that we've really properly established what it's for. Is it a development competition through and through, or is it a kind of, or are we trying to get the best possible cricket on display? Now, you know, to some extent, I suppose this year you could argue, because we've got the England players coming in for the first couple of rounds, and we've then got them disappearing for some of the youngsters to kind of make their mark. We've kind of got...
We got the best of both worlds. We get the Heather Knight show, and then the rest get a go. Yeah,
we're getting some very strange looks here at Beckenham, but I do think that one of the difficulties is that when you do throw the England players into a competition like this, they are going to dominate inevitably. They've been professional for several years. Obviously we have got a few domestic professionals now, but they've only been professional for a matter of weeks, and it just doesn't compare. And then obviously you do also have a lot of young players, and we're still going to be in a situation where most of the players in this competition aren't professionals. So I suppose what I'm trying to say here is that I think to some extent we need to kind of settle on whether we think this is a development competition, or whether it is something that we want to be as good, as kind of high quality cricket as possible. And to my mind, it's going to be difficult to sustain it as purely a development competition going forward, because you can't just have the England players playing in the hundreds, because then they aren't playing any high level domestic T20 or 50 over cricket. But we on the other hand, we have heard that some of the selections are being made on the basis that it is a development competition, and people are being told, well, you know, you're a bit old and you don't quite fit the bill. And I think that's disappointing. So, you know, we'll have to kind of wait and see. I think I concluded my piece by saying perhaps we'll get some answers over the next few weeks, but perhaps we won't. There's been another big bit of news over the last few days, which is that we are going to get some international cricket this summer.
Yeah, we've got the West Indies coming over, which is brilliant. and that's great from the West Indies, that the West Indies Cricket Board have helped out again. Helped the ECB out of the hole that was left when South Africa decided that they weren't going to pursue the tour for whatever reasons. So
we are going to get a full West Indies squad coming as well, in terms of, I think all of the players bar Anisa Mohammed have said that they are going to tour, so that's great in terms of it being a kind of full strength West Indies squad. What level of competition do you think it will provide, Sid?
Well, I think it's going to provide a good level of competition. As you say, it's going to be pretty much a full strength squad. No shade on Anisa Mohammed for deciding not to go, given that we do look a bit of a coronavirus basket case, unfortunately. I don't blame her. I probably wouldn't come either, to be perfectly frank.
Plus, she's got to go to Derby.
Well, yeah. But no, I think that perhaps there is a little bit of a worry about the level of competition that England will get, and whether it really will be any more than Ireland will have provided, given what happened the last time the West Indies were here. They didn't have a great World 2020 either. But fingers crossed. I mean, they're one of those sides that when they do fire, then they've got some world-class players. So if they do, then we'll get some good games hopefully, and hopefully it'll give a decent spectacle for the television. We've got one of those games on BBC television, which we shouldn't overlook the fact that this was always part of the BBC's package. They bought one women's and one men's T20 match. They had the men's one yesterday. They had a pretty good game, I believe, and we've got one women's on the BBC. And then the rest of the game is going to be shown on Sky, so hopefully we'll get some fireworks. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, brilliant to see that there's going to be some actual international cricket played, because I think when South Africa pulled out at such short notice, it's a bit of a miracle really. The ECB and the West Indies Cricket Board have kind of pulled the rabbit out of the hat there. So great to see. And finally, the ECB have announced that September is going to be Women's Cricket Month. So Sid, how are we planning to celebrate Women's Cricket Month on CRICKETher?
Well, as all our readers know, every month is Women's Cricket Month on CRICKETher, so we're going to have CRICKETher is going to have Men's Cricket Month on CRICKETher. So we're going to have a hashtag. That's it really. There's a hashtag.
Hashtag Men's Cricket Month. We'll use it sporadically when there's women's cricket going on, and that will be our way to celebrate it. So, hooray for that!
Yeah. Anyway.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to, under what's actually looking some very nice weather at the moment, we're going to go and watch the sunrises v the stars. See you next week.
Bye.